So basic staple of the studio is the Triton, which I don't tend to use. It's kind of my master, my controller keyboard, but every now and again I'll kind of go into it and there'll be some weird kind of 80s sounds or the Korg M1 sound in it. It's quite interesting, and but just generally that used to be my main keyboard. And then over the years I've collected these couple of kind of weird Casios because I'm a big fan of Nile Rodgers, especially the kind of early Grace Jones years, and he used the CZ1 and the 2000 on a couple of kind of key Grace Jones tracks. They've got some weird quirky little sounds on them, so I use those every now and again. Not as much as I'd like though, but they're this one's just been repaired because it actually just blew up. It seems to be working all right. And then moving along, which is probably my favourite thing in the studio, is the API lunchbox, which has got a mic pre-in, which is all patched into the live room next door. And that's what I use to record. I do a lot of live instrumentation recording, and so I basically run a lot of stuff through from that room into here, vocal mics, guitar amps, and then even in here going straight into the DI with bass and guitar. It adds a really, I can't explain, a colour to the sound, which I just adore. Then here is a rack of things that have stayed with me over the years, which I don't really use so much, but a lot of the early Freaks records were made on. The Creeps was made on this blue Supernova down here, which had the memorable bass sound. Then right at the bottom is the bass station, which I tend to bring out every now and again because I still love the quirkiness and weird sound of it. The Freak song Washing Machine was made with one of the presets off of this MS-2000 Korg, which again I use every now and again, but I keep it for kind of posterity. Then moving around to the main part of the studio, working with Machine. Machine I love, don't really use it as a standalone, used to keep it inside, using the synth inside and just running it. Every time I use the pads occasionally and various different pits to trigger things. And either side, my little horror tones, which are no crossover, terrible sounding. Actually not as bad as people make them out to sound, but they are good for listening to final mixes. They show up all the kind of nonsense and stuff, that's all the things that aren't really happening in the mix. So I use those for kind of final mix. My trusty Mackie, which I use for tracking, and then everything here is linked through the patch bay, so all the synths and keyboards run in to there and then into the Mackie, and then the Mackie goes straight into the Apogee Ensemble, which is down here, and record that in and then treat everything like samples. My old DAT player, which has its moments. I'll dig it out and record some old DATs and stuff, but I've mostly archived everything. And then the beginning of my drum machine collections, little HR16 under here, which used to belong to Rob and Zaki, Disco Elements. And then sort of moving round, from here, the PMCs, which I've had with me and Justin, have had for years and years and years, which are still passive. I've not made them active yet, but yeah, I've just kind of got used to how they sound, so I use those a lot. This, again, an old Freaks machine, used it on a lot of the early Freaks records. It's just kind of stuck with us because it's, yeah, part of the museum, really. CS5, Yamaha, great for some kind of weird analog noise. Use the filters on this a lot, run guitars through it and stuff, which is quite interesting. And mess around, but use it for lots of kind of sweeping sounds. Do it with a lot of the non-kind of dance-related stuff. I kind of tend to use that a lot. Same with the MS-10, I use it for a lot more kind of analog, live percussive stuff that I use. Where I'll just kind of use the filters and various different noises and run the guitar through it and things like that. This is the 101 that a lot of people use for bass sounds, but it's got some really noisy volume control, but it's got some kind of interesting freaky noises on there. And then the Pro one, which has got a real classic Larry Heard Gherkin Jerk sort of acid sound. A lot of the kind of 80s, 85, 86 sort of house records were made on. The bottom's the Juno 106, which again gets used a lot for the bass off of it, especially. And then this has been our staple for years and years, which me and Justin have used and had, and it was the first bit of money that we could afford a proper synthesizer, and it stuck with us. It's been on tour with us. It's been part of Freaks live sets, and we've got this very different cards that we bought originally that came with it. So we've got loads and loads of banks of sound, but it's got some great bass sounds on it. The bass card is fantastic, so I still use it a lot, really a lot. I mean, a lot of people complain about the lack of character from it, but I think you can do stuff to it to give it warmth, etc. Then here we have a Roland 808, which is very special to me. It belongs to John Marsh from The Beloved, and it's a lot of the early Beloved records were made on it. John's a very close friend of mine, and he's gracefully let me borrow it. I still use it, even though I've got the machine, I still use it because I love the sound and the distortion that comes off of it, and the swing from the 808 drums as well. Then Further Drum Machine, which is part of mine and Justin's old collection, which is the Airbase 99, which has emulations of a lot of the sort of classic drum machines, but it's got these weird kind of noise filters that you can add and different pitching and stuff. And the kick drums off of it are super heavy. The original 950 that we recorded a lot of the early Freaks records on, the Beat Diaries, I still use it now to sample and filter. I still love the filters on it, so I mess around with that quite a lot, run a lot of live instrumentation into it.